Hello, my name is Jocelyn Diaz-Valdez, one of the assistant directors in the Office of Student Financial Aid, where I work with our advising and outreach team. I will be sharing today about managing our finances and understanding financial aid for our newly admitted students who will be attending SOAR this summer. The financial aid application process begins by first applying for financial aid. Students and families can apply for financial aid visiting FAFSA.gov or studentaid.gov. Either one will take you to the free application for federal student aid, where students will fill out information for the 2023-2024 aid year using 2021 tax information. Once you apply, the school might request some documentation from you. Not everyone gets selected for verification, but if you do, make sure that you submit any information that the school might be requesting, so then you can receive an award letter. An award offer comes via email that students can see on their student center. From there, they can accept their financial aid. Anything that is grants will automatically be accepted. Anything like loans must be accepted on the student center. And then right before classes begin, typically, if there's any financial aid that the student is receiving, that money will be applied towards the tuition. And if there is excess funds, the student can get that refunded to them to use for other expenses. So that is kind of the journey of the financial aid process in a really quick way. So students can go on their student center, and on their student center, as you can see, there's a number of different tabs. I'll highlight a few of the tabs here on the student center. One is financial account. I encourage all students to always make sure that they're looking at their financial account so that they can see kind of any balances that they might owe to the university, such as their housing, meal plan, tuition and fees. They can also sign up for e-refunding under the financial account, and that's just so that if there is any financial aid that exceeds the amount of tuition that the student is receiving, they can get that money directly deposited into their bank account or credit union account so that they make sure they sign up for e-refunding. Another one is tasks. Oftentimes there might be a task or a notification that a student needs to follow up on. Another tab I'll quickly highlight is scholarships. We'll talk a little bit more about scholarships, but students can always look there for scholarships. We always encourage students to look on a continuous basis for scholarships, not just their first year. Student jobs, great way to get some funds to help pay for some, especially personal expenses. Students can click on the link for student jobs and see the different opportunities that are available to them. Student jobs link website updates pretty much on a daily basis. So another site for students to continuously look at if they're potentially interested in something. Another one is student e-forms. Student e-forms is a place where students can reach out to us oftentimes to tell us about a change. It can be a change of enrollment that could impact their financial aid. So say, for example, a student was only enrolled in 3 credits in their financial aid. They haven't received financial aid, but now they're enrolling full-time, 12 to 18 credits. So they might want to notify us that, or the reverse where they were enrolled full-time, but now they're dropping some classes. And because it has an impact on financial aid, student e-forms is a place where students can reach out to us to notify us. You can also notify us talking about financial aid if a student receives a financial aid offer, and because it's based on 2021 income, if a student or family has had, say, a drastic change, oftentimes I'll have students tell me, well, my parent just lost a job, or my parents have divorced. Oftentimes, different situations arise, or we have a new family member. My mom just gave birth to a new kid. All of these things obviously impact the family size or family income, and those are things that we could potentially look for to reevaluate the financial aid. So under student e-forms, a student would click on financial aid, and then if you're looking at one of those changes, you would click on special circumstance to notify us of what the situation might be. And last but not least, very important tile to look at on a student center is the financial aid tile. On the financial aid tile, a student can click on the upcoming school year, and then see what their financial aid award, can see their summary, can accept or decline, many of the different things right on the financial aid tile. I just had a student reach out to me recently to say, Jocelyn, when am I getting my financial aid notification for next year? So I looked the student up and there was no financial aid application on file for them. So just as a reminder, if you've not applied for financial aid, you will not see a financial aid offer or anything on there. So just be sure, if you haven't yet, be sure to apply for financial aid. Financial aid is something students apply for every single year. So be sure that next, or actually this year, students would apply for the following year. So sometime in December, students will have the opportunity to apply again for financial aid. Our office is located at 333 East Campus Mall. We are on the 9th floor. We share a building with many other offices, such as University Health Services, the registrar, the bursars, ASN. Our website is financialaid@wits.edu. Lots and lots of great resources. So if you have questions about, maybe I have a question about a loan, or I have a question about who to contact, or I have a question about what different offers are out there, this is a great resource to check out. Our office is also a great place to connect with us. Oftentimes students might ask, well, what are the costs that are being assigned? On our website under costs, you can click on the 23-24 estimated cost of attendance, and you can see the different costs, which vary depending on if you're a Wisconsin resident, a non-resident, a Minnesota resident, which you have reciprocity. Make sure that you've applied, if you are a Minnesota resident, that you've applied for reciprocity. And then commuter, that just means typically you live in the area, you're taking classes here, but you are typically living at home with your parents. So there's none of those housing expenses. So as you can see, the cost, depending on which of those is your status, you can look at the different costs. While they're grayed out or white out, the different costs for housing for non-residents and Minnesota residents, it's all the same. It's the $13,500. Oftentimes I'll get questions, well, if I live off campus versus in the dorm, will my housing costs change? Your housing costs will not change. It's just an estimated average of what costs are. There are students I speak with who oftentimes spend way above this average, and there's students who I speak with who spend way below that average. So I just encourage students, if they are having questions about any of the costs, to reach out to us. We'd be happy to sit down with you. And another big advice is, while a college student, live like a college student. So stay away from those really, really expensive places, which I know can be hard in a place like Madison, where rent seems to be continuously going up. But I have spoken with students who even just recently have found affordable housing here in town. But again, we are here to help. So what type of financial aid is available? Different financial aid that's available. On the first column, we have financial aid that is based on a student's eligibility. So based on their eligibility, they could be eligible for grants. Grants is free money. They could be eligible for work study. Work study is a federal program where students can work on campus, and then they get paid, and then they use that money for whatever personal expense they have. Oftentimes I'll have families who maybe were not awarded work study ask me, well, can they get work study? If you weren't offered it, it was because you weren't eligible. However, that does not mean you can still find a campus job, you can still work that campus job, and obviously you can still use that job, that money that you earn, for whatever expense you might have. We also have federal direct loans. Federal direct loans oftentimes have much better interest rates than private student loans. So I do encourage students, if that is the loan that you were offered, before looking at other loans, it's one to consider. And again, our team is happy to sit down with you to break any of that down and help you go through your costs and maybe what else might be needed. Something else that oftentimes families look to are what's called Parent Plus loans. These are also federal loans. These accrue interest from disbursement to repayment, and parents do have the option of deferring payments until after graduation. And then there are private student loans as well that come from like a bank or credit union. So those are the different options. Again, if your student is just needing someone to sit down with, we are happy to do that with you all. Like I mentioned, scholarships through our Wisconsin Scholarship Hub, or WISH, is a place where students can look for scholarships. We encourage students to make sure that they are applying and looking at the different opportunities every single, I say on a semester basis. There's also external scholarship websites. You might be familiar with some like FastWeb, Going Merry, Best Colleges. All of these scholarships, again, searches are external to the university, but they could provide some great scholarship opportunities. I also tell students to look locally if they're involved in anything. Sometimes civic or religious organizations might provide scholarships. And then also think some of those big corporations. I know folks who work at Culver's, and I think even like Starbucks offers scholarships. So I just encourage, look everywhere, look at parents' employment, look in the community, look for scholarships. And again, not just as an admitted student, but it's something to look for every single year, because it can definitely help with covering the cost of college. Some services that our office provides, so financial wellness resources, gradready.com. You can, using your university's email, you can sign up for GradReady and look at the different tools. There's videos, there's lots of good information, articles on helping you just manage your finances while in college, which is very important. Other resources our office provides are things such as basic needs support. So if you are facing a situation where you might be food insecure or having trouble with housing or even health insurance, our team can sit down with you. We can help you apply for some of the state benefits that are available to students. And again, we can walk you through and help you navigate that situation. Also, we offer success coaching and mentorship. So this is first time in college. I might not, or I need help studying, or I need help just with time management. These are different things some of our success coaches can meet with your student about and connect with. So do not hesitate to reach out. And when reaching out, please know that there is FERPA. So for our families, we oftentimes cannot answer questions. We can answer general questions, but if there are direct questions about your student without a FERPA release, on our website, you can access the FERPA link, which the student can fill out, send back to us, letting us know who they give permission for us to share information with. Our email address, finaid@finaid.wis.edu, our phone number, 608-262-3060. Our address again is the 333 East Campus Mall. We're on the 9th floor, centrally located. Our office hours, 8:30 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. We are usually in the office during those times, except for like maybe on holidays or break where we might have some adjusted hours. The fastest way to schedule an appointment with an advisor is usually through Starfish. Admitted students can just log onto their My UW, and then one of the tiles they can add is Starfish. Starfish, they will become very familiar with it because they use it to schedule appointments with academic advisors, but they can also schedule appointments with our team. If they're, for whatever reason, unable to schedule an appointment, they can also call to schedule the appointment, or they can stop by our office and ask to speak to an advisor on duty. We can meet with students in person, virtually, or over the phone. We are here to support you during your academic journey, and we look forward to connecting with you. Thank you for attending today's session.